So we agreed is that m1 has an acceleration of a, m2 has an acceleration of b. They feed the, so if this one gives up this much rope and this one gives up this much rope, what you generally do is you bring both ropes across, and you have to average the height of both of them. So you'd add them together and divide by 2 to find out how much rope the system dropped by. So that means it's going to be a plus b over 2. The length is the same is proportional to the acceleration. Okay, so a plus b over 2 going downwards. T's everywhere. T on the way up. T on the way up. T on the way up. And T on the way up. T is always going upwards, Jenny. Now, I suppose we have to write down what's happening underneath here. We'll keep it as G, so that's going to be M1G. It's going to be M2G. And this big one's going to be capital MG going downwards. Here, I'll move the A plus B over 2 out of the way. And that'll be MG going downwards. Okay. Let's start off with each one. Okay. M1 force is going upwards. M1A is also going upwards, which means it's getting pulled by the tension going upwards, minus M1G. The next one, force is going upwards, which is M2 times B. Once again, caused by the tension. Take away M2G. Did everybody get those two equations? Now what about the big one? F is going downwards, which is M times A plus B all over 2, which in turn equals, what's causing us to go downwards? Mg minus 2T. Okay. Now, also what we want to do is lock up the tension. We don't necessarily want to get rid of the tension, we want to preserve it. Now here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of getting rid of the fraction. So in this blue one, what should you do to both sides? Yeah, multiply by 2 would be a good start, okay? And then what I can get is F equals MA plus MB equals 2mg minus 4t. Okay. In my answer, there's no A or B. A substitution for A or B would be ideal. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking for the purple equation here, I think I'm dividing by M1. So I'm going to get A equals T over M1. And then the M1's cancelled, just leaving me minus G. For B, it's going to be the same thing, isn't it? Except it's going to be M2 minus G, is that right? No. Now, I'm going to give you guys the task now. I'm going to put the answer underneath. You guys are going to have to sub it in, move it around until you get the answer. See the blue equation? Sub the two purples into the blue. Move it around until you get this. Enjoy. Right. What I reckon I'll do is I'll add a capital M onto both sides and call that MT, your MG, your MG. And that will give me my FA plus my MA plus my MB, which I so sorely need. So I'm going to add the two of these together. And what I'm going to get is MT M1 oh sorry, small m1, plus mt over small m2 minus 2mg equals 2mg minus 4t. Now, next thing I'm going to do is bring the 2mg over the other side. Ever see that? I'm going to be lazy, rub that out, and turn that into 4mg. I'm going to wave the magical wand. Everything that's negative is now positive. Anything that's positive is now negative. And my question will look a bit like this. Okay. I'm lacking a common denominator. Common denominator is going to be critical to this. And there's too many tensions, isn't there? So I'm not happy about that either. So what I'm going to do is going to get common denominator. So it's going to be, I'm going to put a M1, M2 over here. That'll be an M1, M2. I'll have an M2 under here, which means I'll need an M2 up there. That's capital M, by the way. And then I'll have an M1 here, which means I need an M1 here. Then I'll have an M1, M2 here. That means I need an M1, M2 here. And by that stage, I'm just going to get rid of all existence of the denominator. Then I'm going to bring anything that has a t to the right hand side. So it's going to be 4t m1 m2, and it's going to be minus, what's it, plus capital M small m2 t, and then capital M small m1 t, and then on this side it's going to be 4m big M m1 m2 g. I'm nearly at the finish now, aren't I? Factorize out t, and what happens? Comes to the right hand side. I'm going to start cheap by looking at the answer here. So there's going to be a 4. There's a 4 m1 m2, which matches this part here. There's also going to be an m m2 and an m m1, which I can sub-factorize a capital M out of, and that can have a m1 plus, don't know why my pen's acting up at the moment, m2, and that's 4 capital M m1 m2 g. Now what's going to happen next, guys? See everything in the yellow? Everything in the yellow goes underneath, and long behold, what do we get?